Joe, as the person who Ray has described as one of his disciples, how did you feel the first time you heard Ray sing? Feel?
That's hard to explain, except that I stopped listening to everybody else. It was like a...
That's really a nice compliment. Thank you, Joe.
No, really. I mean, when because like everyone heard what I say, of course, but like once I heard, like when Ray did this song, I Believe to My Soul, and then I knew that there was something deeper there. It was like in rock and roll, before I heard Ray, I'd never quite heard the church element, you know, the gospel line so he introduced my ears to a new wealth of a new range, that it just didn't stop at the blues, you know. I mean, the man has done so much for the, you know, changing, so many lives, so many musicians' lives, what he did back then and what he's still doing now. But I mean, back then in the 50s, you know, I'm 43, right? But back then it was like, you know, I lost a lot of friends because I fell in love with Ray so much to say, what's happened to you? I didn't, you know, that was it.
Ray, what about when you first heard Joe sing? I mean, here came out of England, the last place you might expect to hear the blues the way Joe sings it. When you heard it, did you say, oh, there's someone who's carrying on the tradition?
I thought it was great. Number one, of course, you know, people will certainly point things out to you, you know, you can be sure of it. And well, when I first heard Joe Cocker sing, you know, I said, you know, for once, I can hear somebody sing and realize there is feeling in it. In other words, there's a difference between, you know, when somebody tries to emulate you and it's a poor copy, if you know what I mean. There's another thing when you hear the person and his soul. And what you know is happening is that the person must have heard a little bit. It's just like a good writer who reads Hemingway, for instance. He's not trying to be Hemingway, but he takes from him the good thing that he can use for himself. That's what I think Joe did. See, people say that he sounds, but he sounds like Joe Cocker. There's no mistake about that. But what has happened is he has taken some of the things that he's heard, as he says, over the years from me, and put himself into it and made it fresh. And I like that.
God, right? How beautifully put, man. You know, because I owe Ray so much, I hate to think, here he goes again, you know.
Don't worry about it, baby.
Live on, you
Don't you worry about it. You just keep right on making the music. That's the thing to do.
There we go.